Welcome to the Owatonna Coaches Show. This is a hockey segment. We're talking with Coach Josh Storm today about boys hockey. Again, we want to thank our hockey sponsors, Ag Power, Alexander Lumber, Bremer Bank, Culligan, Family Vision Center, Federated Insurance, InstiPrints, Jostens, the Mortgage Office of Bredna Bednar, Oldenburg Photography, Straight River Sports, Sign Pro, Truth Hardware, Trelo, Walzer Chevrolet Buick, the Four Seasons Center, Waseca Chrysler Center, and the World of Wheels, all here in Owatonna. Again, the hockey show is brought to you by the Blue Line Club, the OIHA, our Youth Hockey Association, Youth First. My name is Mark Arjes. Coach Storm, how are you?
Well, yourself?
Good, good. Thanks for giving us a little time before practice here today.
No problem.
Hey, let's get caught up just a little bit. Great win against Mankato West the other night. I understand they're ranked, huh?
Yep, they're ranked in single A, and they're probably going to be the number 2 seed in that section this season. And boys played well. We kind of had some stuff come together in a positive way, and the effort was really strong. And it was a good day for us. We were pretty pleased.
Yeah, so what were the specific chemistry things? I know you've been talking about a lot of this as we've done shows over the course of the season. What came together that night?
Our D zone was much better. It was much improved that day. Started playing quite a bit better defensively, and we've worked a lot on it, so I was very pleased with that. The other side is the penalty kill. The penalty kill was extremely solid, and that's kind of been one of our weak points, and it really stepped up and did an extremely nice job, especially in the third period when we kind of took too many penalties, a little bit of lack of discipline, but the guys answered nicely and killed them off quite well, and that's kind of a few things that really helped out that game.
Good. So who scored goals that night, do you remember?
Jordan Klein and Brandon Wenzel. I think Jordan had 2 points actually that day, which helped on both of them. Scored one and helped on one. And, you know, Luke Ebling actually played absolutely phenomenal that day too, which is kind of good to see your goaltender play that well coming into sections like this.
Great, great. Well, speaking of sections coming up, I know you've got another game now tomorrow night on Saturday, right? Is that a Big Nine, or is that?
Yep, we have Austin on Saturday. That'll conclude our season, Big Nine and regular season period, and then we seed on Sunday afternoon, and by Monday we should know where we fit.
Okay, so what's your gut at this point, I guess?
You know, looking at it right now, I think we'll probably end up being the 6th seed. We're everything QRF to conference to head-to-head with John Marshall is about the same, but I think that they have us by 1 point in the conference standings, which will probably end up giving them the go-ahead there, but you know, that's all right because you're either going to play Mayo or Farmington. They're both good teams and teams that I think we match up okay with, so it should be a good game.
So would that mean as a 6th seed or a 5 or 6, does that mean a road game then? Probably?
Yeah, we'll be on the road either way, I think, and so either Farmington or at Rochester, and we'll just see what happens.
And is that a high seed, so whoever you happen to get matched with, you're playing at that high seed, is that first round?
First round's high seed, and then everything's at the rec center after that. So
okay.
First round only.
Awesome. I know one of the things that I've been kind of watching as you've been talking during the few weeks here, last couple of games, and I think you mentioned when we interviewed Matt Ratzloff one night that he hadn't come into his own yet from the scoring thing, but he's had a lot of points lately.
Yes, and we've kind of put our big boys back together with Ratzloff, Kirsch, and Kolstrup, and I think they had 13 points amongst them the first time back together, and you know, they didn't score against West, but they had a ton of opportunities. And West has a really, really strong first line, and they really outplayed them, in my opinion, in every way. And, you know, had a ton of opportunities, just didn't bury it. And I think they're saving them for the section tournament. That's my thought on it.
Well, that's good, right? You want them to peak, right?
Absolutely.
I always tell guys it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Exactly, and that's kind of what we talk about a lot. Well,
we wish you the best on that with sections and all that coming up. When will that game be, do you think? Then?
Game will be Thursday, more than likely. I don't foresee us being in a play-in game, but Thursday it looks like it'll be the day for sure, and I think that's a 7 o'clock game.
Okay. And you mentioned Farmington, so I got to bring this up since we got a little time. Most of the players and parents, if they're watching hockey at all, have probably all seen the YouTube clips going on with the Farmington senior night and the goalie and, you know, kind of the unsportsmanlike way he exited the ice that night. Unhappy about some things, but what's your take on it?
You know, it's unfortunate. I've talked to a lot of hockey people. Some people I'm very connected in the Farmington area. I've talked to some of them, and you know, they've had a lot of difficulties with this family, is what I'm gaining, and you know, it's too bad that along the way he missed the whole importance of the team concept and really made that about himself. And you know, things I've been reading say that he has desires to go to the Marine Corps hereafter, and you know, that's basically completely backwards, where it's you know the Corps first, then the country, then God, and you know, self isn't even in the group, and he's really focusing on self. And you know, it was I understand frustrations, but like I tell our guys when we have issues, it's, you know, playing time and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and as a coach, we're the beholder, and it's not that we have anything out against kids or, you know, don't like certain kids. We have to put the best person, in our opinions, on the ice, and that's why, you know, we've been entrusted in these positions. So it was really just kind of a sad thing that, you know, a coach gives the kid an opportunity on a senior night to play, and he decides to go that route with it.
Right. And you mentioned that's one of those things where, you know, as you'll learn in life, right, things don't always go the way you want them to. Right. So we've all dealt with that, you know. And then how can we teach kids? Are there any intentional things that you try to do, you know, on the ice with the guys to teach them about how to handle things, like, you know, kind of control what you can control type of thing? You know,
that control what you can control is something we use with a couple of our players all the time. You know, that's one big thing that that's one of the sayings that I've started this year. And something I do on the ice is I'll start making bad calls in a certain team's favor over and over and over again. And I just kind of want to see how they react and see what they, you know, do. And, you know, one thing I believe in is just communicating. I always want the kids to know what's going on. I don't want them sitting out in the back wondering what's happening. I'm very frank and forward, especially if we're moving kids down or sitting kids, and I think that really has helped me a lot. It's not an easy conversation, but it's something that the kids deserve, in my opinion.
Right. So communication is huge in managing any kind of conflict, right?
Absolutely, and I just think being upfront and, you know, especially in the goalie, there's one goalie a game, you know, and it's not easy to decide who's playing. You gotta do what's best for you think it's for, you know, all 25 guys in the locker room. It can't be about one kid. And
do you find, I read in that article too a little bit about how, you know, not only some of the other teammates maybe knew what was going on and they were supporting it, or at least, you know, kind of empowering them to do it, but the other side of it is, you know, you kind of read about what were the parents thinking there too, and how do the parents reinforce, you know, how can we as coaches and parents get on the same page to reinforce the right thing?
You know, I think we had a great talk, my family, actually, my in-laws and I, about that evening, that after it had happened. And, you know, we got to empower our kids, in my opinion, to be the ones to have conversations with the coach. You know, if a kid comes up to me and says, you know, what can I do? I'm telling you right now, I'm a lot more apt to look into it and really pay attention to that all the time when they're doing it, if they're making those improvements, rather than when a parent comes to me and it's kind of like, well, does the kid want it or did you want it? You know, and I think that's a big maturation point of becoming an adult too, being able to talk to, you know, maybe your superiors or other adults and kind of voicing your concerns and opinions, especially in a respectful manner.
Right, terrific. Well, again, that's you know, really great insight. You know, I think it helps maybe our kids and parents to help connect the dots, something like that. I mean, it's obviously going to be everywhere. It's probably not the last time we've seen anything on it.
I hope so, but
it'll be interesting if you know, if you would actually end up playing Farmington down the road at some point to see what that would, you know, if there's any how their team reacted to it. You know, so. Well, again, thanks for your time tonight. We'll let you get back on the ice, and best of luck tomorrow at Austin and at section time. So
thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Again, thanks for watching the Coaches Show. You can find it on local cable here in Owatonna, channels 8, channel 20, blip.tv on the internet, OwatonnaHockey.com. Search Facebook for Owatonna Hockey and Youth First. We'll see you on the next segment.